All right, so today we're gonna talk about my very first KISS build. Ever since I've been flying FPV, I've used Betaflight and EmuFlight. For the past 4 months, I've been running EmuFlight almost exclusively, and it served me pretty well. But I've always been really curious about what KISS has to offer. Some of the top creators and top pilots use it and they swear by it, while others say that it goes up into an eternal ball of flames. So, was Rotor Riot's video bullshit, or is KISS really a major game changer? Really was hard to tell after watching that video because I felt like there was a little bit of acting going on there. So today, I'm gonna fly my first KISS build and give you some raw thoughts. Let's get started. That's the best way to route a battery. All right, so we're gonna give KISS a go. We have the Apex frame, FetTech 45 amp ESC, FetTech F7 flight controller. I have on here the FPV cycle motors. These are the 5-inch motors, the FPV cycle motors. Caddx Vista, Hero 8, no hyper smooth, so whatever you see in the GoPro is what is actually happening. So let's give it a trip. Give her a ripperoonie. All right, well, that's cool. A little motor spool up. Feels very juicy. Now, as far as the PIDs go, I just dropped down a preset from KISS's preset menu, and that was it. Now, it's hard to really say what's the smooth portion of this. I'm using these Kebab, I guess the FPV cycle 5-inch motors, and the low end throttle response is actually really quite good with these. So I feel like it's almost giving you a false sense of confidence that I wouldn't get with another motor. You'll have to see what the footage looks like out of the GoPro. Because like I said, no hyper smooth, so you'll have to be the judge. But it feels good. Now, as far as the flight characteristics go, I feel like the cornering is definitely better. Like, I feel like I can orbit around things with confidence. Like right there, like that was a last second, you know, ditch maneuver. I wouldn't have been able to do that with EmuFlight, because EmuFlight for me is a little bit more latent. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, I love EmuFlight because it flies incredibly well. But even right there, like the reaction times when I'm coming out of something late is just, I can't explain it. That felt great. Like, I'm not flying anything crazy. I'm flying like your average curious Joe FPV flyer, you know? Somebody who's curious on whether or not this is gonna be better for them. And wow, okay. That was pretty cool. And I'm really hammering that move right there because that's usually where I see a lot of prop wash when I would fly previous. Like, go back and look at some of my other videos where I'm here flying. And you can see, like, in that spot, I would struggle notoriously. So, it is a little windy. Oh shit. Holy fuck. Can I say that at a church? I don't think I can. This is the only time I go to church. Some other notable things with KISS and DJI specifically is that in order to have the OSD on, you're not getting like a full sense of the readout. Like, I have my voltage, I have the amps drawn, I have my RSI, which is actually technically link quality. I have no idea if it's actually really working. Does it appear to be? Maybe? I don't know. I mean, is it smoother than Betaflight? I think out of the box with just setting a drop-down menu, it's certainly smooth. Is it smoother than Betaflight though? I would say yes. Just because the washout and the prop wash isn't quite as apparent as I try to split S that tree, which probably would end badly. I mean, a little bit of throttle right there as you saw I was coming down. So, I mean, again, could I tune it out? I didn't do no tuning to this. So this is just like what you see is what you get type of thing. I just wanted to see what would happen if you take it out of the box, choose a preset, know nothing about it. Would it fly better, worse? I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm really trying to hammer it here. I'm at 21 volts. So that's the other thing, I can't see my average cell volt. So I don't know if I'm, well, Orbitin seems better though. I do think Orbitin is better on Kiss. All right, let's bring it in. Interesting. All right, so it does feel good. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel really good. Is it enough for somebody who's flying Betaflight currently to want to switch? Probably not. I really don't think so. Or if you like emu flight, would you switch? You probably won't. If you're happy with your current setup and happy with the way your current configuration flies, you're probably not going to be any more happy with Kiss, just being honest. You can make anything fly amazing with some time and effort. The biggest thing with Betaflight is I've spent countless hours flying pack after pack, computer literally at the park, going through making micro adjustments, fly, come back, land, fly, make adjustments, land, fly, make adjustments, land. And then anytime you change a component, all of a sudden now you get a different flight characteristic. So those are some things to consider. With emu flight, it's a little bit less tuning, I feel. Like sometimes you just click the drop down menu in a preset and you're good to go, and that's perfectly fine. With this, straight out of the box, I dropped the preset. I think this was the Vic FPV rates. I dropped them on here and just put my rates in. I put his PIDs in, my rates, and I think I changed my D-term set point to, I think I changed it to 80. I may bounce it back up to 85 to give it a little better stick feel, but I mean, that was it. And then I was flying. I mean, is there prop wash still? Yes. I mean, I don't think any flight control software is going to be good enough to get rid of all of it. It's going to really boil down to how you have your PID set and also how you fly. Depending on how you fly and what maneuvers you make will determine whether or not you're going to generate that prop wash. But I mean, all in all, I feel like this flew really great. It seems consistent. I mean, everything seems to work. It's easy enough. I'm going to be doing a build guide because I am going to be putting together a second version of this. So I'll do a build guide. As far as the FPV cycle motors go, I really like them. I think they give good low throttle control. And I just feel like they're precise, get reasonably decent flight times out of it. I don't notice anything weird. People were talking about desyncs, and I don't see any desync issues. At least running this ESC and this flight controller, I'm not seeing issues. So that's just my experience. But again, mileage will vary in FPV. But those are my thoughts on Kiss. It's interesting. It's not much more expensive than your most expensive Betaflight flight controllers. T-motor stacks are about 119 bucks. Right now you can get a whole FetTech stack for 139 bucks. So is it more? Yes, but you're paying for proprietary software, and they seem to be a little bit more readily available than Flight 1, which I tried Flight 1 and I wasn't really all that impressed with it. So I don't like having to use goggles to configure things. I just want to use a configurator and be done with it. So, all right, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Stay original.